Shiver me timbers. Yar. Nasty Hang on my yard. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to the one, the only Rum Boys Fantasy Network. This is the Rum Report. I am your host, Rum Boys Robbie, aka the Admiral. I am joined by my co-host, Rum Boys Combat, Jake. What is good, bro?
Nothing much. Apparently, something big broke about an hour ago.
Something big did break an hour ago, and we are just going to dive right into it. We got a lot of news to report on. First off, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rum Boys and girls to what it do. Dilly. I got some rum punch today. Some rum punch. It's going to be a good episode. So,
Future product we're gonna make.
big facts. So I'm on a supply run, right? At Safeway, and then huge sexy bomb comes across my phone, and I immediately rush out of that bitch. Rob Gronkowski makes his way to Tampa Bay, where he is going to join Tom Brady. They're pretty much ring chasing. They're going to exchange fourth and seventh to fourth round picks between the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This theory was brought up not on our show. Our show, we did bring it up Friday night on Rum Boys After Dark, in a way, if you will. But this theory was directly brought up by a fan of a different show on their show, and that show pretty much shot it down as if it wasn't possible. And I felt that it wasn't possible at the time that I had first heard the speculation of this as well. Turns out, Gronkowski, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's how the fuck we're starting off our show, bro. What are your thoughts about the 24/7 champion going to Tampa?
I'm really surprised that he did come back because I thought he was one of those guys that could. Well, he definitely could have left football and did his own thing and been famous, successful anywhere he wanted to go. But I'm actually kind of glad in this spot specifically because I'm looking at it now. He's back. The hype's there. It's going to be a big time attraction for a little bit. But as a fantasy football guy or trying to become one, I like him to be a less explosive guy in terms of touches, but he might make it through a season because he has weapons now around him where he won't get beat up year round.
You know, oh, go ahead.
And when he does come back, another weird aspect of it is, can Bruce Arians learn to use a tight end? Because you're gonna have to at this point. You're gonna pay the dude his full $10 million to play.
So Tom's not. So first let's look into the backstory of how this move happened, and at least what I think may have happened. So first, the Bucs receiving a 7th round pick, and the Patriots receiving a 4th round pick. So there's the stipulations here. Okay, I'm already getting word that the physical has already been passed, and that's via a neutral doctor that just so happens to reside in Boston, of all places. So the physical is already done. All right. Now we were talking pretty much before the show. Yes, is he gonna have to add on, that extra 60 pounds that he had lost? Of course. All right, that's a given, and Gronk is gonna do that. No, irregardless, hands down. Um, Now, first off, Gronk did allude to this morning on the Andy show that anything could happen. He was like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great right now. I did retire. It's been about a year since I've been away from football, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. Um, and I think that this morning, during that interview, during that live interview, Gronk did know. I do believe that there was some talking that went on between Brady and between Gronk that resulted in Gronk coming back. When asked about the possibilities of this trade about a week ago, the brass in the Bucks organization stated, no, we don't know anything about this, obviously, because, of course, that would be tampering. Clearly, some form of a tampering rule has been broken because Brady did speak Gronk out of retirement. Last time that Gronk was a piece of a trade to go to the Lions because of, the whole Matt Patricia relationship and yada, yada, yada. Gronk said, I ain't playing with nobody else but Brady, and that's that. Now Brady brings in Gronkowski. So, yeah.
Also, there's something that with media going on here that was really weird. It went from this morning I'd come back to 24 minutes before he officially came out of retirement. The Patriots and Bucks are willing to make the trade to it's done. So this has been in the works for a minute. There's no doubt because somebody was on this story way before and had that story ready, and they were just
No,
waiting on it to be announced.
bombshell. This was a bombshell to everyone, but the once again the organizations within themselves, even Schefter, Rossini, uh, Anderson, all these great NFL insiders, Rapport, everyone was caught off guard. Everyone was caught off guard by this. And I will go ahead and I'll just state it. I mean, when I first heard about this story last week, Friday, it was from a call in from a fan residing in Boston to the Pat McAfee show. And that theory got shut down. And I was sitting in the chat thinking to myself, too, I'm like, ain't no fucking way. I'm like, this clown calling, he don't know a damn thing. But then lo and behold, here we are, Tuesday, one day post 420. I don't know if Belichick and Kraft may have had too much fun yesterday, but here it is today. A deal is made. Gronkowski, fresh coming out of retirement, and he is going to be and he's going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Fire the cannons, Tampa.
So is he a tight end? He's definitely tight end one. How soon? I don't think they're gonna use him like they did in New England. Too many weapons.
So I'm gonna state this. I'm gonna state this.
Touchdown guy. I'm thinking touchdown guy.
I'm gonna say this, especially while this man here is in the chat. Shout out to the homie LQ, Real Deal Fantasy HQ, my guy. Um, I wanna go ahead and I wanna touch on this. All right. If Gronk is available, I'm in a slow draft league right now. And in the ninth round, I'll be coming up. So by tomorrow, I'll probably be up picking. I'm snatching up Gronk.
Ninth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, so because in this league, there's 8 copies of each player. Shout out to the homie Smitty over there at the Fantasy Football Show. And I already have Austin Hooper. My next pick was about to be a low-end running back. Just because I was about to be like, Austin Scott, like, fuck it. Like, I didn't care at this point. Like, Darius guys. Like, all the copies of Ronald Jones are all gone. So I was like, let me go and get a low-end running back at this point. Nope. I'm going to run 2 tight ends. I already got Austin Hooper. I'm going to bring in Gronk now.
well, I think he's a touchdown guy. That's one thing that I really would love to see from him. Just, you're not going to give him those 50, 60 catches a year, I don't think. But he could still body a defensive back or tight or linebacker in the end zone. And even Arians would see, yeah, this works. It's worked a lot before, so keep doing it.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? You're everyone's asking, is he gonna produce? Okay, I heard, yeah, he's gonna be hurt by like week 6.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Let's remember something, ladies and gentlemen. That team still has one Cameron Brate, and when you're still putting up the pace numbers that Cameron Brate was in that offense where OJ Howard was doing absolutely completely jack shit with a quarterback like Jameis Winston. I'm not minding this combination of Cameron Brate, Gronkowski, Brady in the backfield. Like I said, from a fantasy standpoint, I give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers an A+ in terms of being fantasy friendly. In the fantasy friendly category, the whole team is a go in my eyes.
This may be the Packers era, like 2011, where we just take the offense.
Yeah, just take the
We take a healthy tight end, like in Finley, take Jennings, take Nelson, take Rogers, lose that bye week, who cares? And just play in the rest of the year.
absolutely, absolutely. I have no problem picking up Godwin. No problem picking up Evans. You know, at this point, I mean, Brady's gonna push the ball to all of these people. Gronkowski, I'm with it. I'm with it. DFS. Oh, Cameron Brate's cheap. Let's go. Depending on the matchup, let's go. This whole offense in every format. I mean, of course, except for Dynasty because some of these guys age. Maybe in Dynasty format you're backing up, but I mean, in terms of redraft, in terms of DFS, I mean, I'm all in on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Bucks, I have a feeling really quick. The state of Florida, you guys put your hands together here on the Rum Boys Fantasy Network because you guys have pretty much taken over this episode today. Single-handedly have taken over this episode today. Okay, I'm even buying in on Ronald Jones. Like if there's any piece of this offense that may not see a lot of touches, that may not see a lot of production, is Ronald Jones. Like he may be the person that's not the benefactor, but I think even still, like they're all going to be high octane. They're going to look like the Chiefs did last year. It's going to be amazing. This is going to be simply amazing. Like keeping it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, opening up our show. OJ Howard is clearly going to be moved this draft weekend. I mean, am I right or am I wrong?
I don't see how you keep him. I don't think any team in the NFL keeps 3 tight ends on the roster for a game week, let alone 3 guys are paying, right? So
Baltimore did it last year.
yeah.
Hayden Hurst, Doyle, and Mark Andrews, my guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially with them, when you're paying 2 of them, I don't think you're going to keep a third. It's just a matter of where at this point.
I think OJ, you gotta go to a team. You gotta prove your value in order for you to get back to a team that this team didn't see that you were fit to stick with them. The talent and what they're trying to go to. They didn't look at you and see that you can be a guy that can step in here and help us win week in, week out.
Well, that's his
Brady
fault too,
probably
right?
stepped in
He has
there.
bricks.
Yeah, he has brick fucking hands. Brady probably stepped in there and it was like, look, guys, this is how many years I'm trying to play, and I want the best of the best around me at any given freaking moment.
Yeah.
We're gonna let Robert Kraft and them Jerry Krause sit up there up north, but down here in the South, baby, we're gonna get this shit together. We need to send OJ Howard up out of here, send them packing, and then OJ Howard is gone.
I mean, who wants him? That's the question. Who would take him at this point? That's the weird thing.
Because maybe there are talks of the Redskins still having Trent Williams to Cleveland in the works. Now, my question there is,
I have concerns about that as a Cleveland fan.
I have concerns about that as a Redskins fan. Believe you me.
We don't need a 32-year-old tackle. Shanahan likes to have the tackles move and hit the corner, find a body. I don't want a 32-year-old rolling next level and looking for the block. I want a younger guy to do that.
And see, and honestly, I feel like Brady would be like, bring him to me. You guys take OJ, bring him to me.
Oh well, they could take Williams in a minute. Yeah, no doubt.
You know,
Sit in the
he
pocket, just protect that side. Never have to think about a game plan. This side's fine. Yeah, he fits
doesn't.
there.
Where's the Patriots' hidden value Pro Bowl free agent player this offseason? Oh, nowhere. Oh, cool. Fuck that. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, I love it. Bills Mafia Rob in the chat. For those of you guys that listen to us on the audio podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple, all that good stuff, make sure you guys check us out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe and check us out on sportscast.com and download that Sportscast app on iOS devices. Let's kind of keep it moving here. Right now, I want to keep it rocking in the NFL. I mean, I had this script written up, this outline written up, more so I should say, to where we could have jumped around to a couple of different sports, a couple of different things, but I want to keep it in the NFL, and let's keep it with Tampa Bay. Tom Brady broke quarantine orders yesterday in the state of Florida to go hit up a local park in Tampa and slang the rock a little bit. He was spotted by a government official. At first, they didn't know who it was. She got out of her car. I believe it may have actually been the mayor herself. And walked up to him and realized, oh shit, like it's our newest superstar resident, TB12.
Still gotta leave.
Yeah, hey, still got to get inside. Like, please.
Wait till the first beach is open. That's what he said. Not right now.
Right.
Wait
right.
a few days.
Pretty fucking much. Which, by the way, after all, this is practically the hashtag Florida Man episode. I mean, we're going to be talking Florida all throughout this episode. For some weird reason, between Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, and then whatever happens in Miami with Tua Tagovailoa in this draft, I mean, shit's crazy down there right now. So we might as well dub this the hashtag Florida Man episode because it's all over the place. But what's your reaction to TB12 trying to get a workout? Is he trying to win or what? I mean, I feel like Tampa must not want this guy to go out there and win.
He had to be testing something. I think Jeter has a pretty solid backyard in that whatever $1 million mansion that he's renting off him, right? And I imagine there's a nice workout area for Brady. So, yeah, I think he just did this to be like, oh, I want to be part of the community. And then they're like, well, you still have to follow the rules, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have done this in Jeter's yard. I'm very convinced Jeter has the property and infrastructure to get a decent workout in.
Dude, absolutely. He's Derek freaking Jeter. Absolutely, he's got to have.
That was a beach. Let's be real. That wasn't a park. There was sand. That was a beach. Like they were saying, like nice park. No, that was literally him going where he was not supposed to.
Exactly. And Bills Mafia Rob, I agree about that with your Bills. It's just best for you guys to sit back, relax, and chill. Just take the best available player on the board and keep building your team. You guys got this now. But no, for real, Tampa, you must not want to win. Let the guy get a pass. If anyone can get a pass right now, I feel like Tom Brady during the dark ages should be allowed a social distancing pass.
Yeah. I know why they did it though. It's what you can't have. I mean, it's like you can't have that guy do it and ban everyone else because that's a mess you're gonna have to start.
Yeah, got to put out the fires where you can. Got to put out the fires where you can.
But he has 9 days so he could leave his house because Florida pretty much said the first everything's opening up. So just wait 9 days. So.
Oh, Florida is the shining example of Darwinism right now, and I am loving it. Like I'm just sitting back watching from my safe Lysol sprayed and sanitized home, watching all of these dumbasses on live feed on Instagram Live, getting ready to run out to the beaches. Florida, you guys enjoy it. You guys enjoy it.
Tory Lane's quarantine radio where he has like 50 people partying at his house. Like, yeah, dude, really
Tory Lane,
quarantining well.
Tory Lane is insane with that, but I want to thank Tory Lane for the hashtag quarantine radio because that shit works. That's great marketing.
Hundred
Um,
thousand first week, right? In sales?
yeah, yeah, bro. I could have sworn that I coined that shit first when all this popped off, and now we should go back and check our
Snagged it.
books, man.
He snagged it.
Straight up stagnant. Um, let's see here. Trying to think of what the next topic here should be. We got so many. We got so many good ones. All right, here's where I want to go. Once again, we're gonna take a trip over to Duval County. Did you see Yannick Nagawe? Is that his last name? Is that how you say it?
I don't want to try to mess that up. Um,
So Yannick Nagakwe or Nagoku, pretty much verbally eviscerated Jaguars exec Tony Khan in a fury of tweets yesterday, essentially begging for a trade to be done. And I don't know if you saw or read some of the tweets.
I did. Yeah,
You
it was.
So is Fournette, or I'm sorry, not Fournette, but is Yannick wrong in this scenario?
I wouldn't say wrong, but he's really dumb because your trade value won't improve if you show you're fighting your own owner or you're fighting an exec on social media. Um, and I think Khan said it best. By the way, this is not helping us get what we need to trade you back. By the way, so if you wouldn't have done this, we might have had a chance. But now people know you're potentially a toxic player if you don't get your way. So it's going to be tough to trade you now for what we want, and we have to be under contract, so we're keeping you.
Exactly. Appreciate Ngakwe. We appreciate you and all of your bull crap, for real, for real. Nah, dude. This was solely bad on Ngakwe's part. And I was completely 100% retweeting.
I thought it was an angle, man. I was thinking AEW Khan versus Ngakwe, AEW wrestling match.
Bro, it was complete and total fuckery on Yannick's part. And one of the tweets that really fascinated me was Khan tweeting back at Yannick, like, I am in isolation right now, getting ready for the draft. Like, pretty much like, don't at me. Like, I love that. I love that approach by Tony Khan. He completely took the high road. He's honestly one of my favorite NFL owners.
Yeah.
Like, my man's owns AEW. He has a couple of legit businesses.
Well, how he made his money, right? His
How did
dad
he
made
make
his money. He sold cabinets. He sold bathroom cabinets.
Bro, that is dope. That is the American dream.
Yeah. An un-American dude came over to the U.S. and became a billionaire selling kitchen and bathroom storage facilities. Good for him.
Slap yourself. I ended up going in a controversial third. The person I ended up facing had an elbow issue. And yeah, it was some bullshit. Everyone knew it at the end, but it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna have another tournament. It's gonna go down. But yeah, no, I love that though. That's the American dream. I mean, Tony Khan is one of the amazing owners in the NFL. He's the only immigrant owner in the NFL. And I just love that.
Is he an immigrant or is his dad?
Or his dad. I mean,
yeah, because I meant to say, his dad's been very rich for a very long time, and he's like 29, 30 or something.
Oh, super young. Yeah, totally super young. But yeah, no, his pops has been I don't know if I should be able to make this joke. Never mind. He's been getting A-Rap money! A-Rap money!
Yeah, but
Sorry,
it's
bro.
just dumb. If you're gonna do that, make sure you do that in private because no team wants to pick you up if you're doing
No.
that with your boss on
On,
social media.
on social media, like it's like, bro, did you not learn from AB? Like, I feel like the NFL went through so much BS in the '90s from like Dion's antics, and then like in like the 2000s from Mr. Child, Please Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson,
To man, you missed those
to
early 2000s, man.
yeah, To, and then like
He
Randy
had
Moss.
one, man. Let's be real. Randy Moss did some weird things on the field, but he had that one moment. He had like the straight cash, but other than that, I mean, outside he was just himself. To was the worst, I think, though. I don't know how you could deal with him if you're
Exactly. So I think like the NFL, like by the time like the turn of AB came around, they were like, yeah, fuck this, watch, and
But the dude's a stud. The dude's a
oh,
great player,
absolutely,
so he'll go somewhere.
absolutely
It will have to be. He might go to Tampa. Never know.
free on, he could, yeah, Tampa could be like, fuck it,
See, no. What makes this bad is he started it himself and nobody retweeted him.
yeah. No, I mean, I was retweeting him, like,
Yeah, everyone's like, other players are like, dude, you make the most money you nearly possibly could for your position, and you've turned down negotiations. We wish you could do that. Like, no, we don't
bro,
feel bad for you.
you know that Brady's probably just sitting back right now, looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars organization now, especially after getting dropped and realizing, you just pull that off? Like, did I just convince him to come out of return? Hold on, watch this. And he's like, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go ahead. You see that sad, miserable team there up the road? We're going to go pick on them next. Let's bring Yannick and Fournette. Like, bro, I would not be surprised. Brady's probably sitting back to Bruce Arians, and he's like, listen, I have had AB and Aaron Hernandez on my team. I got these two. I keep them in check.
And Tim Tebow.
And Tim Tebow. See, bro, he's got this.
And by the way, Bills Mafia Rob, I have a question. Did he start it, or did this? I think there was a bad negotiation that the player took to the media, and Khan was defending himself. I don't think he started it by going at the player.
No, Khan defended himself. Yannick popped off first.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a bad phone call, and he just snapped on Twitter, and Khan's like, "Dude, I just talked to you. Why do you do this in person?"
There wasn't even a phone call. There wasn't even so off the tweets, based off the tweets. Like, so I have the whole thing tweeted on, like every single tweet from them both back. Like it Khan only responded once and once only. And pretty much
with the BTW. This does not help your trade stock, basically.
Yeah, like hey, in a nice way, Tony Khan pretty much said, hey, listen here, dipshit. I've been trying to move you. I've been trying to trade you. You don't get it. And because you don't get it, I'm politely letting you know to stop it. So now at that point, it is fully, as a grown man, it is on Yannick's part to digress and back away. And Yannick has yet to do that. This is still carried on into today. And it's now a one-sided conversation on Twitter from Yannick's account only.
Yeah. Don't start your own hashtag and have nobody follow it. It does not look good.
I think the NFL is like...
Yeah, that was... He tried to be Dennis Rodman for a minute.
Don't do that. Don't. All right. Clinton Portis was just being comedic. Dennis Rodman was crazy, deranged on multiple levels. Like that. Didn't that dude pull up in like a dress?
Yeah, he married himself.
Yeah, he married himself. You know how arrogant you have to be to marry yourself. Like, you know how cocky you have to be to marry yourself.
Or borderline schizophrenic. Do you see how he talked to himself on defense? He would
Yeah,
like smack his head before defense. I was like, what are you doing, bro? You're smacking yourself in the face right before you're guarding a dude. It's a little weird, man.
Rob, because that's the way of the world now. That is the way of the world now. Um, and that was the best way that honestly I felt that Tony Khan could have delivered that message because we've seen present day, especially once again, case in point with the Antonio Brown situation a year ago. And we were on the front lines covering that one. That shit sucked, you know.
That was my interview per se.
That was your interview basically. And I mean, in all honesty, this was the best way for Tony Khan to pretty much put him in his place and to have Yannick's supporters be like, hey, yo, if you want out of this situation, this is the only way out of this situation.
And by the way, has there ever been an athlete in the history of like this Twitter era who has benefited in any argument by having control of their own account instead of giving their brand and managers their account? I feel like whenever an athlete has their own account, it always turns out bad.
So
Like,
what I've seen athletes do and what I've heard from athletes themselves is they will run their account sometimes, on like a kind of like a normal emotional basis. When they're feeling like, hey, I'm balanced today, I'm fine. But then other than that, it is a publicist that has passwords, has the logins, and that does all of that shit. It's a publicist usually responding and replying on behalf of them.
yeah, I would hope so because this would happen a lot more if you. I'm sure his agent saw that's like, dude, what are you doing? Please stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like it was performative power without substance. I mean, because it was substance, because he did let him know, like, yo, like, this is the only way that you can get traded. Like, the reason why, so Jacksonville has been trying to move Yannick for months now. This isn't the first time we brought him up on this show. I don't even think, or on this channel, and actually necessarily on this show specifically. I think on this show he was brought up on like episode 4, with cases of his bullshit.
Yeah, he tried to. Maybe it was legit because Coughlin had more issues than just him. So maybe the Coughlin one was legit. I could give him that one.
Well,
But
let's remember this organization has had problems since the Coughlin era. Last year, the NFLPA reported 25% of the claims
half your
that
roster are complained about
half the roster,
workers.
50% of the roster complained about Coughlin and the way that he had handled things.
Well, he was breaking terms of the players' union,
Well,
finding players for not showing up
yes.
early. You can't do that. You
Well,
can't.
this plays perfectly into our next topic because it seems like Tony Khan is clearing house, and coming from an organization to where, as a Redskins fan personally, we should have been clearing house. We should have been, working on reshaping our culture. It looks like Tony Khan is doing that now before the problem gets ahead of itself. He's trying to take care of the problem now, and all the problems, quoting Chad Johnston, child, please, problems up in the locker room, and he's trying to get them up out of there, i.e. our next person that we are going to talk about. And Bill's Mafia Rob, I think you're going to love this topic here because you brought this up in the chat at the top of the show. Leonard Fournette, he could be an NFL draft day trade. We talked about O.J. Howard, especially now with the acquisition of Rob Gronkowski. Leonard Fournette, it looks to me like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to completely reshape their running game. And I say this because you released McGowan, and then now, they still got Yeldon, I believe. They still got TJ Yeldon. Now it's sounding like following the first take interview where Fournette has stated pretty much, give me Cam over Minshew. He said, no disrespect to Minshew. I would love to have Cam. Cam has been to the Super Bowl, this, that, and the third. Fournette could be moved on draft day. Does it seem like the Jaguars are entering a rebuild? Does it seem like if you're not down with Minshew Mania, you're out of here, bud. It seemed like a cultural rebuild.
I
And
don't think it needs to be a rebuild. I think Fournette is not a win loss effector at this point. He's injured. He gets in trouble on the field. He got himself suspended doing really stupid things multiple times. He had issues showing up on time. He doesn't seem happy there. And he's a one dimensional running back, which does not work as well today as it used to. So I don't think getting rid of him is a rebuild. I think you can find a replacement.
and this is what I mentioned at the top of the show. GMM Network bringing it up. Which, by the way, guys, check out Jake's feature on the GMM Network. That was what within this past week you were featuring there.
He posted it Friday
Friday,
afternoon.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, and another, I thought of this too. Um, does he think of the Cam in the Super Bowl or the Cam now? Because they're also different players. So, um, I mean, 2015 Cam is not 2021 Cam.
You want me to answer that question with experience?
Sure, as an athlete.
So not even necessarily as an athlete, like interviewing players and meeting them and being around them. There are very few athletes that have the same takes and the same outlook that analysts do. So, and that's the reason why analysts are analysts. You know, a lot of them. Either A, they've played the game and now they've sat back and they've been spent time analyzing the game, or either B, it's just the way that their mind works. Fournette, when he was on First Take, he is one of those athletes that just looks at guys at their peak, and that's what they remember. That's how they react. There's a lot of athletes / turn analysts where a lot of them now are like, oh, this guy can still go out there and do it. I'm like, well, no, there's a reason why that guy's still not going out there and doing it. A lot of them they frame that in their mind, and because they play the game, they have that
They played
emotion.
against him.
Yeah,
Or he was in college at the time. He was in college, probably looking up to the guy, so he probably remembers that Cam.
A combination of both. But
Well, yeah, and you see this too. I think I'm going to counter off that point of you see so many athletes who talk about their last run in the sport they played, or UFC fighters who laugh about the whole thing like Bisping. He's like, yeah, Calvin Gastelum beat me up on 3 weeks' notice. I got knocked out twice in 3 weeks, dude. And they joke about it because they know at the time they wanted to fight, but they look back, they're like, yeah, I was done. I didn't believe it, but now that I'm seeing the tape and I'm out of the sport,
yeah.
Belichick should have cut me. Vrabel even said, yeah, I should have been moved. I wasn't a good enough player anymore. I could not play in that system. So I think players always, when they're playing, think they're what they were when they were their 25-year-old prime.
Exactly. Or when evaluating their peers, they try not to be so harsh or so realistic about the real life dangers, the real life twists and turns of what one may go through. They're not seeing what the evaluators are looking at. They're looking at it as, I played against this person, I have respect for this person, or I still want to play against this person, or this person has accomplished this, that, and the third. There's a reason why they are called accomplishments, because once you accomplish it, it's done and over with. Me, I celebrate an accomplishment and then I'm done and over with. I'm ready. I'm on to the next thing. We hit our 2K and I was like, all right, motherfucker, on to next. What's our next milestone? What's our next goal? Let's go. You celebrate. You don't get hung up on it. And that's why it's an accomplishment. It's something that you did in its past tense in a way. So I mean, I think Fournette's just looking at the accolades, looking at the person that Cam Newton was, and who he can be still at a high level, but not against a Gardner Minshew who's really going to be putting asses in seats there. If you're Jacksonville, you already tried to have a veteran quarterback come in and put asses in seats, and then he got injured. And Nick Foles, who won a Super Bowl against Tom Brady. Cam Newton's got to go and rebuild elsewhere.
And Fournette's not a guy I see as a long-term back in the NFL with how he runs.
Fournette
Everything's full speed
traded to
ahead.
Thursday.
He's already
Fournette,
injury prone, and his style's not great for long-term careers.
is it just me? You just brought this up, Jake. What college did Fournette attend?
The LSU running back curse.
Where did Darius Geis attend?
Yeah.
Where am I going with this? Like, is this something in the water down there in Louisiana?
I think they just run those guys too much in college sometimes, and it really hurts their careers long term. Like Derrick Henry, for example, they gave him the ball like 40 times in a college game.
Maybe it's just time that LSU backs stop getting drafted so damn high. That's going to be my new running thing. Oh, he's a running back from LSU. I'm not buying it. Fuck it.
What is running back you? I can't even. Ohio State?
Yo,
I mean,
yo.
I wouldn't even say that.
Let's dive into the next topic. And we actually already talked about the Fournette topic. Gotta catch them all. Free agent wide receivers. A pair of wild Marquise are on the loose. The Jaguars released Marquise Lee. And let's head over to the West Coast. My second home, Cali. Bogard, who's in the chat, is the GM network. His 49ers released Marquise Godwin. Can any of these guys go to a team and be a playmaker on another squad?
They can be a weapon used limitedly.
Oh,
Their careers are not. I don't see weapon. They've never been one. I don't think either's had 1,000 yards ever. If I know, not recently, right? So I mean, I love Marquise Lee too. I loved him at USC. So, but even in Jacksonville, he just was kind of a journeyman. Injury prone all last year, but he played 2 games. I have more questions about him. He'll be 29 when the season starts, I think. And if you miss a whole year practically, it's not great to be going or nearing 30 and miss the season before. And Godwin, I mean, well, you could say he's part of that run-heavy system. The catches he did have were a result of the scheme and the tight ends around him. So
I think Godwin is a release as a result of Debo stepped up in here and put in big work. Like, we gotta let you go. Plus, like, I mean, Dante Pettis, I thought that for sure they were gonna release Dante Pettis over fucking Marquise Godwin. They released Godwin's
old, right? 30?
Yeah.
So I looked it up, he's played since like 2012 or 2013, so he's been around. So is Lee.
Once again, I mean, this is another one of those. This guy can still. I think this guy has at least another year or 2 left. I don't want to be bold and be like, he has 3 years. Like 3 years in NFL is like fucking dog years, bro. Like, it's like 21 years on the body right there. Okay, not that extreme, but still.
Physically, there's an argument.
Yeah, right.
I would say playing football and going through training camp when you're 30 years old physically beats you up a lot more than you did when you were 24.
Bro, coming from even me now, like, I've literally been like, I don't know if I could go back on the field, like, after being stuck in quarantine, my body not being that active and being at that high level, like, the whole thought process of going back onto the field is scary from that standpoint. So I mean, more props. I mean, but hey, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how this one works out. In terms of both of these guys, for Godwin and for Lee, I would love to see my Spence try and make a move for either one to try and lighten the load on one Terry McLaurin.
I loved Lee in college at USC. He was fun to watch too.
Oh,
Marquise Lee.
Marquise Lee, yeah. Yo, USC receivers always skeptical. Always skeptical. Um, let's see here. Yesterday, the NFL had its practice mock draft, mock all night, and they had to work out a few technical hurdles. And many execs stated there's issues with bandwidth. The Bengals had some issues, trying to make sure they could submit their first pick, and they're the ones that are starting off the draft. So I think they have more pressure of making sure this goes smoothly than making sure they lock in Joe Burrow at 101. How much of a clusterfuck do you think that Thursday night's going to be? We will be live, primetime draft special. Make sure you guys check us out. It's going to be a big deal.
I thought it would be bad, regardless if the internet was going well for them. To be honest, someone was going to screw something up. And as a result, with the internet being an issue, I could see somebody cutting out really quick and having to go behind it, take a pick, calling somebody for a trade, be like, oh, actually, no, someone didn't get the pick, we gotta wait, extend the clock a little bit, and then it would just mess this having up big. Which, I mean, I understand they don't have great internet, they're probably never home anyways. It does not, I'm installing internet tomorrow, it takes like 30 minutes to get a new service and install it to a Rotom. Like, it's not hard.
What service do you have?
I will be going to pretty much Spectrum.
Holy shit. All right. So this is coming from someone that used to work in internet sales. I did work in telecommunication sales because I sold fucking everything. If it had a wire, I was the person that was like, you need it. And I also did tech support for a year and a half as well. Certain areas in the United States don't have the best setups, and what worries me the most is Cincinnati being a shitty city. What worries me the most is a city as sophisticated as Los Angeles, but their internet infrastructure is, I don't know if it's because there's so many fucking people there and they don't want to fucking invest in the good shit, but their internet there is so damn spotty, like, and it's so bad. I honestly worry in terms of this virtual draft because
Take your word for it. We took this guy. Wasn't on camera, wasn't on screen, but we took this guy. Did we? Did you take that guy?
Exactly. There's going to be a lot of shit. Like, and here's my thing. NFL, you have experience in this process before of drafting guys in a very much so kind of paper mail-in style system. Why not go ahead and just call in your picks, make it a call-in thing, and why not make it to where we're not working with as many frames, as many people having to be in front of a camera to be making these picks, to try and make a full-on production. The level of magnitude that the NFL is trying to do with this production and the level of people that they're trying to have to be shown during this production is absolutely fucking insane. Detroit Lions, GM Bob Quinn is literally going to have a fucking IT guy in his driveway camping out overnight in a goddamn Winnebago. Yeah. For all you young ones out there, Winnebago's a freaking RV, okay? This could be catastrophic, but goddamn, it's going to be so great for those of us that are going to be commentating the draft, that are going to be reacting to the draft, calling our team's picks, because, man, man, it's gonna be baller. Personally, it's gonna be baller. What's up, esports caster? It's gonna be baller. It's gonna be baller of a clusterfuck. Tree it said auto draft. Um. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes down. I want to see the systems burn. I want to see the systems crash. There are some in the world that just want to see the world burn. Let's get into the second half of the episode. Give me 1 second. Jake, how you holding up over there, bud?
Good. Can I get my pet under control for a second?
Like,
He's eating headphones.
get your pet under control. How you want to take a quick break? How long of a break do you need?
Like 10 seconds. We could take a good 5 minute break like we usually do, though. Since we're about halfway done since Gronk broke our topic sheet.
Yeah, Gronk fucked everything up. Ooh, and these sneezes. Three. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and let's dive right back in and get to it. Um, let's see here. Yo, did you hear fucking Lamar Jackson got the Madden cover, bro? Madden 21?
I did, yeah. I don't think anyone else really had a chance at it, to be honest.
No. You gotta be absolutely correct. Who was on it? It was Mahomes, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it was.
And Mahomes won a Super Bowl. I called that Super Bowl. I specifically remember them winning. Am I right or am I wrong? So
yeah, they definitely came back like they usually do.
Anyways, excuse me. Damn. Fucking sneezes, man. About to blow my nose while you make your take. But do you feel like the Madden curse is broken now?
I don't think it was ever that huge of a deal. I think it's one of those things where players who tended to get it were very popular, high risk football players overall, and they did get hurt. But the curse itself, it's one of those things. It really started with Vic, and he had a bad year after that. I don't think the Madden curse was the reason for that. I think there were, we all know, much worse issues going on with Vic's life that was the curse there.
Damn,
that's like half with the, what?
I said that's fucked up, but yeah.
I mean, I don't think him breaking his leg is what took years off his career. So the Madden curse, I mean, the injury stuff, like players get hurt and play through it. Players have great years, get the cover, and a lot of times your best year is not repeated. So the curse is, I think, is overblown overall. And I think if you were to say it's broken for sure, yeah, it is. Like the Heisman curse, it's definitely broken. But I think it was always an overblown thing, and I think it really became a meme, sadly, with Michael Vick.
Yeah, Michael Vick pretty much perpetuated it. Michael Vick and McNabb. Or was McNabb on the cover first? I think
it was Vick 04, right?
And then McNabb.
Yeah, McNabb 05. Then Vick's hamstrings fell apart, and he kind of changed his game. But let's be real, the Madden curse, what took Vick's career down, wasn't the broken leg of the hamstring. It's what happened 2 years after.
So Antonio,
it wasn't his on-the-field stuff. It's what he was doing off the field that really killed his career.
So here's my thing with this. Lamar has gotten a gigantic ass tattoo on his chest. He's on the Madden cover, and then also in the same 2-week span,
they get Antonio Brown like he wants.
Brings up Antonio Brown. Now we know that Antonio Brown, or we know that Antonio Brown and his cousin Hollywood Brown have been beating the pavement along with Lamar in their Instagram lives. I think the curse could be settling in. Like when you start talking about bringing in Antonio Brown and like starting to advocate for that man, it's Shit.
Will Antonio Brown start a beef over targets with his own cousin? That would be impressive.
See, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like any piece of any of that. I like the fact that Lamar Action Jackson, you got that and cover. I am happy for you, young brother. That is stellar as fuck. That is baller AF. So more props to you, more power to you. Let's We're getting into our next topic here on the docket. Jake, you still there, man? Jake is taking care of his cat. Yep,
He's
there
eating a
he is.
shoelace. And my headphones. My backup headphones.
Man, eating shoelaces. Oh my gosh. Did you see the New England Patriots new uniforms, bro?
I've not. Kind of made it a
Oh,
thing for you to show it to me in live reaction so we can laugh about them if they're bad.
well, we're about to pull them up right now.
I feel like they've all been
Um,
bad, except the ones that went back to the originals. Or
dude,
steal from a high school team.
oh wow, that was fucked up. Okay, you went there. Oh, so let's go ahead and let's check out these new Patriot uniforms. I guess here. Hang on, I'm just trying to make sure I find a good picture. Sort of find a good one. There we go. There we go. All righty. StreamYard. Share a screen. So it seems like everyone this year are getting new digs. Wife was like, I hope the Panthers get new digs, and I was like, don't count on it. But it seems like everyone honestly is. These are the Patriots joints. Oh shit. Oh,
I like the blue. I hate the white. It looks so XFL.
some whack. Welcome to fucking New England banner there. There we go.
What's with the stripe? I feel like the white or lack of a closing to the stripe just looks weird at the shoulder pad.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
go full tilt, like just like go right there, just close the loop, right? It's kind of weird. You just cut it off at the seam. It looks weird to me.
I feel like everyone's trying to go for the XFL look. You know, I think that's really the goal here. I guess
They
new.
really have to close that sleeve. I mean, that's my one complaint with it. I think on both, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like new decade is what they're looking at. The motherfuckers are ugly. I mean, they're not
similar. I'm
ugly.
not as mad about that, but if I'm a Patriots fan, but yeah, the white just looks like a JV high school jersey.
Yeah, they're not. See, there you go. Yeah, JV high school jersey. They're not necessarily ugly to me, but it's like, all right, you took on the XFL. You know,
Unless you're Cleveland and you go back to the '80s, which I think people actually like here.
yeah, Cleveland went back to their old their old school look pretty much. I mean, is realistically is what happened there for their jerseys. Now, also the formerly known Los Angeles Chargers and formerly known San Diego Chargers, the now known Los Angeles Chargers, they got new jerseys. They have always had the coldest jerseys of anyone in the National Football League ever. The Chargers are the only team to ever have the coldest jerseys and have no
Rams
rings.
did too for a while when they were in St. Louis. I love the Rams jerseys.
Don't the Rams have rings? Oh shit! I don't think the Rams do. The Rams have a ring? The Rams have a ring.
Yeah, but they had the nicest jerseys for a while, in my opinion. Only second to the powder blue Chargers.
The Chargers decided, hey guys, fuck it. We are going to go all blue of every blue. We're going to have powder blue, sky blue, baby blue, royal blue, navy blue, all the blues, but Crip blue. We're going to have them. so that we can't be having any affiliations in the city of LA, but we're gonna have every other color blue. Which, by the way, I love those royal blue color rushes and those navy blue color rushes. I think that those are simply sexy.
What's weird about every jersey they're doing this year is I don't know why they're deciding to go with like the super squared off numbers. I kind of prefer the rounded look overall for all jerseys.
See, I consider myself a football analyst. To analyze the look of the jerseys necessarily is not my stilo. I don't care necessarily. I mean, I guess if I'm just playing my team on Madden, I care about how my numbers look on Madden. I love the bolt down the side of the pants. Like no matter what variation
Yes,
of pants,
that's.
the bolt is fucking bold. Um,
I still like the all white on
I guess
that.
I guess this now raises the question. I mean, out of all the new jerseys that have came out, I mean, who has the coldest? Like who's really that shit? Like, I mean, the Colts
Hmm.
got a new look, the Browns got a new look.
I mean,
The
the
Chargers
Browns, I
came,
can't even say are a new look. They just went back, right?
yeah,
Their
the
new look
Browns.
was changing. Go, yeah. So I mean, they just went back to the jerseys people actually liked. So I mean, I can't even say the design is great for that because they had a foolproof plan. I like the Chargers, and I think it's because they had the best jersey before, so it's really hard to screw that up.
Yeah, I mean, bro, it's I like the Falcons choice the best. The Falcons and the Chargers are my favorite ones. The Chargers first, and then the Falcons. Like I'm
I,
the only person on Twitter that like the Falcons jerseys.
I okay, maybe when I said I don't like the ATL, it was just like the three letter XFL thing. I wouldn't mind it if it was like bigger and like covered the number. I think that's what might bother me a little bit because you can hardly see it. Like if it was like a bigger that act, and if it didn't show the number as bigger than the actual. Yes, I know the ATL reference. Yes, it is what everyone knows it as. But just make it don't make the number so big. I think is what's kind of weird for me. I feel like the team like logo so small. It's like you're accentuating the. Well, it's good for fantasy owners, right? Who are at the game to be
Yeah,
like, oh, what number is that? Oh, I know who that is. The number's as big as that.
it's identifiable.
Very.
Shit. Well, there are the new NFL drip that is available. Make sure you guys head to NFL.com, check that out. Um, actually, no, fuck that. We're gonna have. I'm about to ask them to fill out some fucking paperwork tomorrow. Um, for a merch. Like not like it's not like for like our merch. Anyways, I have to fucking fill out an affiliate deal for an NFL sponsor tomorrow. So we'll tell you guys where to get your NFL merch. So no one buy any new NFL drip yet. Not yet. Not yet. We're gonna tell you where to go.
Don't pre-buy your Antonio Brown Ravens jersey just yet.
Right, right. Hey Boogie asks, are you ready for the Thursday? Are you ready? You ready for Thursday draft, Robbie? Okay, so are you ready for the draft Thursday, Robbie? Yes, I am absolutely positively ready. I can't wait. We will be live broadcasting the draft. It is the annual Rum Boys Fans Network draft pod. Okay, it is going down. Make sure you guys tell your friends, your family to join us Thursday night for the draft. We're gonna have the most lit reactions from the most lit sports fans, from the most lit sports analysts in the industry. Um, we're getting it. I'm trying to get as many people together for that as I possibly fucking can. We have Zoom now, so we can fit more than 6 people on the stream. Um, so yeah, Jake, if you're not busy Thursday night, fucking join us for the draft. Let's
Oh
get
yeah,
drunk.
I have Friday off, so
You,
works out.
you genius. He's
I
like,
have
you
planned it, dude.
genius. It
If I
works out perfect, babe.
Here's the plan. I wake up super early during this quarantine period, at like 5 in the morning, 5:30, and I just work till 4, and I cut like a day off of work every week because I just wake up super early and I just fill the hours in.
Just, yeah, do it. Just knock it out. I fucking dig that. I dig that. I like that
I
idea.
can play video games and stream all Friday. It's pretty great.
Dude, I got a topic for you, man. All right. So, Mrs. Don't Be Fooled by the Rocks that I got. She's still big booty Jenny from the block. J Lo and A Rod, they're seriously looking into buying the New York Mets baseball team. Um, the couple has retained JP Morgan Chase to raise capital. What do you think of the former New York Yankee and Miss Jenny from the block going to try and run and own a baseball team? The Mets, excuse me, of all teams.
What is ESPN paying A Rod? Because if you're paying, you're getting majority ownership, right? To run a team? Or is he
Shit,
gonna? Is he?
wait. Is that legal? Is that legal? Can ESPN have A Rod on
They would
retainer?
not. They'd get rid of A Rod for sure. But my question is, how would A Rod get the money? I know he made money, but like, you have to get 50% of that payment from your personal funds to be executive choice maker of a baseball team. Unless all the Wall Street guys are like, here, A Rod, run the Mets for us. Just put in like 10% and we'll get the rest for it. But man, if he has that money, buy a baseball team. Man, the
Because
Mets love
it's
baseball,
like
so
2.6 billion. Like it's like 2.6 billion. Like not
exactly.
really Billy. Like that he has to drop. Like that the couple has to drop. Now I know J Lo has money.
I
Like
like
J
that.
Lo has two things for days: money for days and ass for days.
I thought you were gonna say Botox, but
But God damn it, Jake, you're right about that too.
I'm just saying,
Um,
man. There's no way she's 50.
Cowboys combat, ladies and gentlemen. But for real though, I mean, and from what I read, it sounds like that she kind of all right. When this is one of those moves where you're not making without a strong woman by you, right? And I think that she's kind of really pioneering this one, but it's so crazy. And when the reason why I wrote this into the show, right? What's going on, Triple M? Triple M. The reason why I wrote this into the show is because he used to play for the Yankees. She's from Southside Bronx. Anyone that's from the fucking East Coast knows that this is not okay. You
Well,
can't go and buy the Mets when you're from Yankee territory.
well, let's be real. Is A Rod really liked by Yankees fans?
Is A-Rod liked by anyone?
It Steinbrenner didn't like him. Steinbrenner passed away. The daughters probably don't want him involved. I don't think Yankee fans really embrace him, to be honest. So it's not like Jeter doing it. I feel like he's the type of guy that just had a big contract and was traded somewhere. I mean, he was almost a Red Sox too. So I think it's one of those things. If he has people willing to put the money forward and let him run a baseball team, why not do it?
No, I'm down for J Lo to be the majority owner of that. Like A-Rod, I don't like the way that you actually doing the steroids era. I fucking hate you for it.
Got caught twice. It's pretty impressive.
And try to act like he was the poster child. Like he was like this fucking alpha boy. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Like, then shut. Like, no, bro. Like, no. I can't stand A Rod because unlike the guys that faced their charges and faced what they had to go up against during the steroid era, A Rod did anything and everything that he could to fucking beg, plead, and bitch his way out of it.
Well, he tried to take the league to court, right?
Yeah,
over
yeah,
over his positive test
yeah.
to
Because
say it was taint to prove it was
bro.
tainted.
Yeah,
And it's like, dude, no, you took it. Doesn't matter if it was tainted. And you knew the dude who took it was giving steroids out. You can't say this substance was the wrong substance. You went to a dude that was a sketchy doctor and he got caught.
bro. And then on top of that, he was a fucking rat. He was a rat throughout the whole thing. Dimed every single fucking person out. Like, no, no, A Rod. I'm I I want I want J Lo on the team. Like, cause nothing, no, I have no slight towards her. I have no slight towards a celebrity getting into business and putting their name on something and owning something, especially something big like that. You know, especially when you come from like nothing. And on top of that, like we're losing like, the couple of good, entertainers that we have. Let them put their name on something. Let them leave a fucking legacy, especially them cats from the 90s. I wish Mike Tyson would be like, I'm gonna go buy me a team right now. Right now. I'm gonna go buy the goddamn Jets.
Yeah, he invested into something else very well. I
He
think he found his calling.
invested in cannabis very well, yeah,
Yes.
But I mean, come on, like that era has to be relevant and still be relevant somehow, especially for those that grew up in this. Like, yo, if Tyson ain't buying a team, fuck it, let J Lo buy a team.
Well, I think the reason they don't, when they definitely have people willing to help foot the bill and be like, "We'll pay for it, just be the face of it," is Jay Z tried it, and I think rightfully so. The league's like, you can't have these connections with these other players if you're going to be a part owner of the Nets. You just can't do it, and I totally agree with that. Where it's like you have to sacrifice your friendship with these guys and hanging out with them if you're going to represent our team. Drake's the same way, where it's like you can't be friends with these players and work and be an ambassador because it's going to be tampering. So I think
Yeah,
that kind of holds them back. And I agree with the rules, by the way. It's one of those things you can't have Drake
100%.
having. I mean, Drake's the reason Kawhi and Paul George met in the first place and spoke for the first time. So, but yeah, you can't have those guys who are influential and people that are like the same wealth level and popularity level as these athletes, like in these organizations being recruiters for them. It just doesn't work
No,
out.
no, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't. I mainly mind his name being tied to it.
I mean, they hired Mendoza, who hired the person knowing they were cheating. So, and they fired Jessica Mendoza as well. So
And then
ESPN hired people that
and
were
then,
kind
and
of
then
involved with the organization.
you're gonna bring in, or you're gonna let A Rod buy the team, who's a known head user.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. It's just the way. It's just the way, and it's also just the way that he fucking handled that whole thing. Like everybody else dealt with their shit. Everyone else had their shit stripped and didn't make it. Look at Barry Bonds right now. Can't even fucking get in the Hall of Fame barely. Like,
He won't. I think he has like 1 year left or something before he's like completely done. So yeah, I don't think A Rod cares about the Hall of Fame though. I think he's given up on that, which is well, he gave them money at this point. He invested so much. He has like a cruise based on it.
yeah, let's dive into the next topic. You hear about Oliver Luck?
Did not.
I'm shocked because I was waiting for you to actually hit me up and be like, look what I just found that came across my desk. Oliver Luck sues Vince McMahon for millions after XFL bankruptcy. Luck and his team say he was wrongfully terminated. Luck received a contract for in between 20 to 25 million over 5 years. Should Vince McMahon have to pay up the rest of that contract? Baby.
Um. Well, bankruptcy, you still have to pay them back, right? You have to give them certain payment plans once you start making money again, which would be after the quarantine period. So like, the reason
Right.
these lawsuits don't usually work is because You can argue you're paying this off slowly when you become more profitable, and Vince can argue I can't reasonably pay back people now. So you can't really do it now,
I
but
mean,
eventually you could.
the thing is that Oliver Luck was one of the many employees that was terminated. So let's just remember when we reported on the XFL last on the Rum Report, the XFL had quote unquote pretty much like sold it. Then they had filed bankruptcy, which meant that, like Jake just stated, they can pay it back. Once they get back up and running. Da da da. It's not the all within all. Someone can still buy it and then keep it up and running. Yada yada yada. There is a long list of debtors that they are in debt to. Audi Stadium being one of them, almost 30 million in debt to. Um, with Oliver Luck and the role that Oliver Luck played, what makes the story so interesting is the fact that he was terminated. And that's why he is filing this suit. Because he's the one employee that probably should have honestly been retained during this period, because many of other employees, or very select few employees, were retained during this period. Because it sounds like that there is some plan for them to start this back up when this is all done.
So hmm, he probably has a clause that was violated, and he probably does have something to fight for. And get that he can win with, but still, I don't. It's gonna be tough because it's not a debunked league yet. It's just bankrupt. So it fell
Yeah.
through, but someone could still buy it. And I think there's a period after this where they're gonna have to give the economy time and the stock market time to come back up for someone to try to buy it before you can say it's a defunct league.
100%. 100%.
And I want those editors paid. I want those reporters paid. Those players paid before I care about Oliver Luck personally. Oliver Luck could take care of himself. I want those editors who and the camera people, all and
Exactly.
the truck guys who drive across the country for like a game. Like those guys deserve to get paid, not before the coaches and the execs do.
No, I love what you just said there. Let me take care of these smaller salaries and these smaller fees and this other shit first. Prior to me taking care of the 20 to 25 million dollars. And it was explicitly stated that that was to be paid if Luck were to be terminated. That is written in black and white. I was able to look at the ins and outs of the contract. Jake, I should have forwarded that to you prior to us coming on air, and I apologize about that. I'll be better next time, so that I can
Oh,
share
it's
the
fine.
info that I
In that
have.
case, though, yeah, he definitely will get the money. Vince does not need more lawsuits. Okay, coming his way.
Especially with what just happened with the WWE and so on and so forth. And these two, and I just want to say that the timeline for these things happening are one on top of the other.
That's the issue. Yeah. And Vince's wealth went from 2.2 billion to like 1.3. So he's lost $1 billion in the stock market. He's probably not feeling too great about his life right now.
And the shit that I lost, I know if I lost, I know the motherfuckers else is losing. Um, let's dive into the final topic, which has probably been the biggest topic of this week and has became which is probably going to be the next biggest topic for the next week, aside from the NFL draft, and that is the Last Dance. Episodes 1 and 2 did air with 60.1 million viewers. Million viewers.
Yep.
Um, what did you think of the Last Dance documentary in this episode, bro?
So, I think we knew a lot of MJ didn't like the GM. The execs were split, obviously. Phil Jackson had issues with everyone in their own way. What I learned, I think what I really learned more than anything was Scottie Pippen has the worst agent in sports history for taking the pay cut and staying in Chicago.
All right, in Scottie Pippen's defense, I mean, we saw what he came from. What East
Yeah,
Arkansas,
yeah, but
Arkansas.
still, w- come on, man. When you're a multiple time All Star and you see people like with agents and players around, they should have gotten you out of Chicago, gotten you a different deal, got you paid. Like I get he got paid later, but and it helped his legacy. But man, he could have made so much more.
But all right, so that was one of that was one of the most astonishing things to me throughout the interview.
I was like, okay, MJ is a hard teammate to deal with. He didn't like the management, and
So I
Scottie
really,
Pippen didn't negotiate. He signed blank checks. What? Like he did? That's amazing. That's
dude, there
awesome.
was nothing about like MJ was like. Now, of course, I'm sure this is going to appear throughout the next couple of episodes, but there was nothing about MJ when MJ said on his own words, on his own accord, this is going to make me seem like a horrible person. Yet, have I seen that? I mean, I feel like him letting Pippen get slapped in the face when Pippen was a rookie. I mean, hey yo, you could have spoke up like, hey, knock that shit off. But this is also the '90s, where back then, I mean, how do I say this without pissing off or offending anyone? Masculinity was different then. Okay, um, motherfuckers probably had more testosterone in their goddamn systems than people do now.
Maybe,
Right?
maybe. I don't know. Guys are bigger, faster, stronger now. I think it's a mentality thing though too.
That era was completely different. I mean, when
Yeah.
MJ rolled into town as a rookie, they called the Chicago Cocaine Circus, and like MJ walked in, ah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna get out of here. And if MJ had never done that, like I've seen memes where people are hating on MJ for that, and it's like, yo, had MJ never done that, we would have never gotten to enjoy and appreciate the great star that MJ is now. Not everyone needs to go and fuck up their life. But no, I mean, to your point though with Scottie Pippen, and to Treat's point, at least defense in the chat. What CBA? There was practically no CBA back then before rookie to go to go on to go on a 7-year deal for that long and not get paid to be the 122nd overall player. It's complete and total bullshit. J Love, he's stating, fuck you, or
I know.
Robbie, fuck you. You call me a testosterone pussy. I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying generations gotten softer. Like if that footage of Scottie Pippen, like if that footage of Scottie Pippen getting slapped by Charles Oakley had happened in 2020, the internet would have snapped.
Well, in
The internet
everyone's
would have
defense here,
snapped.
no one's messing with Oakley. Not even Jordan. No one was messing with that dude.
Hell no, bro. But the internet would have been like if Twitter was around back then and a video of Oakley slapping Pippen in the locker room emerged on Twitter, Twitter would have ate Oakley alive. You know what? I can't fucking fight you, but you're a bully and I hate you. And
Yeah.
it was, bro.
And I'm thinking MJ would have been a little more KD than we think, with how he took things so personally. He might have some burner
Oh
accounts today.
yeah,
He would have been super petty.
bro. What I loved,
He may
what I
have burner
really
accounts
loved
now
about
for all we know. Oh, MJ's a terrible talent evaluator. I think he's really good. He picked this guy, this guy, this guy. It's probably MJ, the one
what
guy
I
who thinks
really
he's
loved
good at
about
it.
the Last Dance, and I'm gonna honestly insult myself here, is what it meant to be a celebrity in the '90s. That's also why I appreciate hotboxing by Mike Tyson so much. What it meant to be somebody back in the '90s versus what it
Global.
meant to be
You were
somebody
global.
now.
Yeah.
It's totally like now it's like, yo, there's that guy with 10,000 fucking followers. There's that guy with fucking 30K followers, and fuck that guy with that many followers. You know who the fuck these guys were back in the '90s? Like you realize these people were, yo, For all we know, there's a part behind this documentary that we don't even know. Jerry Krause might have been controlled by the mafia. We don't even know it. We don't even know it. We don't even know it. That's how crazy the fucking 80s and 90s were.
Think about the Beatles era. Probably at one point in time, they were the most famous people on Earth you could be. Like, peak fame. They couldn't go in public. They were quarantined for life. They couldn't do chores because they were too popular for their own good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was ridiculous, I think.
It's all on Cross. He was thinking logically, and Mans is dead. Hey, yo, hold on. Listen. No. In this Netflix documentary era, there's always one person that ends up getting hated. I'm sorry that he is dead, and may he forever rest in peace. Unfortunately, right now, in this 2020 period, he's not going to be able to. And that is so unfortunate because what documentaries do in this day and age is they dredge up old shit. And for our viewing pleasure, make us hate a specific character in that documentary.
Yeah.
We already hated Ana Hernandez. Netflix was like, we're going to make you hate that motherfucker even more.
Yeah, there's two sides to that. I agree, Robbie. There's back and forth. I mean, I don't think it's a one-sided, I hate this person. I think there was reasons they had issues.
Still, we're going to make y'all hate that bitch Carol Baskin. We're going to find a way to make y'all hate that bitch Carol Baskin for our views. That's what Netflix and all these documentaries, you're always going to find that common denominator is that there is a person that you are going to find a way to hate. And it just so happens that Jerry Krause, in this instance, his fat ass ends up being that person.
It's the Cleveland 30 for 30 before the Cavs won the title. It was an hour of bashing Art Modell, who's dead. Because he can't defend himself. I mean, that's kind of how it works. When you can't defend yourself, and you're probably in the wrong, no one really cares what your side of the story is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and that's documentary culture. That's the way that these documentaries are filmed, edited, produced, and cut at the end of the day. It sucks for Jerry, but hey, shit. I mean, for him to act the way that he did, like for people, the fact that he is passed and people to still state, hey, he had short man syndrome. And that got in his way. You really had that. That was really a part of your character. That was really a part of who you were. And who you are is the fabric. That's something that can't be made up. That's something. Because when you pass, people tend to, like, unless you were. What I love about documentaries is that sometimes people are just going to be that real. Sometimes people are just, like I hope, like, if there's ever a documentary made about the Rum Boys, people are just going to be that fucking real. They're going to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly about me. You know? And
me, of course, too.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're still speaking during that internet. You know, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, that's documentary culture. I mean, they're trying to tell the story and get as much close to the truth. Like, fuck no, like, this person wasn't always good when they were alive. Like, come on. J-Love, I'm down for that. I also got to cut up 3 fucking different videos tomorrow, too. So, yeah.
And also, I think we can look at every documentary of Jordan. There's a lot of stuff he did that it will never be mentioned or criticized because he was a great player. Borderline greatest of all time, maybe no doubt greatest of all time in people's eyes. There's, again, debates all the time you can have. But one thing Jordan had that you can never defend or argue against, he was the poster boy and very much protected by ESPN. So everything he did wrong, hidden. Everything he did moderately okay, we're going to put this on SportsCenter all day. Because the NBA and ESPN needed that. Nike needed that. So there's things that we're never going to learn about Jordan until he passes where it's like, he was not a good dude. Like, or he was a good dude, but he was an idiot. Yeah, he was a terrible person. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he was. I think he did terrible things that will be told later. I mean, he stiffed a lot of dudes on bets that never pays back. He's known for not paying back on his gambling debts. Like, he has problems. And No one's gonna say it until he's passed away. And I'm not
No,
saying one to pass away, but no one's gonna hear about any of this until these guys are gone, where then they
no.
can't defend themselves.
I've even seen it in forums where people are alive. I'm trying to convince my stepdad. I want to convince my stepdad to come on for a pod and where we're not gonna talk about sports. Like, to be honest, we're just gonna talk about like him growing up in fucking Brownsville in New York, like dealing with like fucking everything from like the fucking 70s, 80s, 90s, and shit like that. And like I just want to fucking like sit down and tell the stories to everyone, have him tell the stories. Because he was around, when all of that shit and like everything was like fucking popping and like all that shit was happening like, in the neighborhood. And that's like such a big piece, like a big pinnacle of like American culture. Like I want to bring that out, And there are people that are living, and I say that because there are people that are living that just because they've changed or they've gone somewhere else where things are said about them like before, where like it's just completely different. Even while you're still here, and even while you're still alive, and even while you're still living, you can still be in this body and be in this form, but still die off and then go somewhere else. Like me personally, I feel like I've already died twice already, and I've already like changed, evolved into something else. So I mean, it's real fucking fascinating. It's real fascinating. I think that um
And
I
Jordan is, I think, his day where the dark side of his life and why he really left basketball will come out because, let's
yeah
face it, in 13 years he'll be 70 years old.
yeah.
So he's not a young dude. So it's gonna come out. You gotta wait until he really can't defend himself. Where
Think about how long it took for him to even sign off on this footage, and honestly, I think that's something that played into him signing off on this footage. And that's one of the things I was trying to allude to is like, yo, like he's trying to tell his story before he goes, and I feel like he saw when Kobe went too soon that it was like, oh fuck,
yeah,
I need to go ahead and I just need to put this out. I need to put this out raw. So I think that we're being given a beautiful story. I don't think that any of us should take this for granted. Watch The Last Dance up close and personal because before this great legend goes, he's already reincarnated and trying to tell us his story and tell us his side of this specific story and this specific chapter in his
yeah.
life is The Last Dance and how the universe connected and correlated him, Pippen, Robin,
Yep.
her, Coach, like all Phil Jackson, like all of them together, Krause, like all of them together. We're getting to enjoy a beautiful moment in history right now. And I've never said this during this time period, but after seeing after I was anticipating this special to drop already. But if I was not quarantined, I would not appreciate the special as much as I do. And for
This
that,
gained so many eyes because of it. It was one of those things. ESPN thought it was like, yeah, drop it, more views, we'll take it. E-
exactly.
it probably with his father, yeah, I think I think Jordan doesn't know who buys his shoes to as on this point. I don't think people know buy Jordan shoes and know they're Jordans. They're just like
And I was
they're
back.
worth money. I like them.
Man was talking about I was back in the '90s, but I mean, no, like for real. Is
And one
there
thing Jordan's gonna have, and I want to say this, I get it. You can, I mean, Jordan is not the best basketball player. He will not be the best basketball player ever, forever. There's guys who are more skilled because the game's gotten better. But he was the best player when the league was at its most popular. Even if he's not the best player of all time skill wise, because the league just evolved so much, the league would never be as popular as it was in the '90s with Jordan. So the
like I
league owes Jordan everything for being around today and relevant.
like I said? I mean, being a celebrity back then was like completely different. Like I said, I really want to bring my pops on, like to talk about that because like he's been around fucking like with Mike Tyson. He's been around fucking Jordan. I'm trying to fucking think of like who the fuck else. Like this motherfucker's been around Don Shula. He's been around so many different fucking cats from back then, um, that were premier guys and like premier celebrities. Back back in those times and back in those leagues. I just want to bring on so it's LL Cool J. Yo, LL Cool J actually got fucking beat up on the top. Um, I wanna bring him on, and I want to hear about all those times and all those things. I'm also working on bringing in Dr. Madgley. I want to bring in Dr. Madgley from the TBL. I'm gonna hit him up on Instagram after this interview, probably later this night, early morning tomorrow. He actually faced off against Jordan in the early days. Like I'm talking like the photo that I saw, it's like black and white. Like so we talking old days of like Jordan. Um, I want to bring him on, and I want to hear his stories and hear his influences. Um, the world is a beautiful place, and one of the things that I appreciate The Last Dance for is that it taught me that our history repeats itself. Like I brought up in the beginning of the show, and how we start off with like all that talk about Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady and shit. Um, but history repeats itself sometimes in different ways. It's interesting that this documentary comes out and we're all criticizing fucking Kraus, but we're all living in the fucking Robert Kraft era, and we're criticizing Robert Kraft, and
Yeah.
that criticization is gonna come back full circle and shit. Like I
Yeah.
just think it's all interesting how history repeats itself. Um, I think that the underlying story of 2020 is that history repeats itself. You know, we're told to fucking stay inside and chill and relax and be home. But people want to go out and protest. Boom, we're going to recreate the second wave of what was the Spanish flu. This is our current day and age of the Spanish flu. Stay the fuck inside, wash your hands, keep 6 feet, follow the fucking signs in your grocery store or in your grocery stores. You know, all that good stuff. History is repeating itself right now in 2012 in more ways than one. Um, and we gotta we gotta respect and we gotta acknowledge it. Um, and I think that that's one of the lessons that I think we can pull from today's episode, because of all the different topics that we talked about. There's 5, 4, 6, 7, 8 different topics that we can go back in the past and where this shit has happened before. Yannick is pulling an AB. I've seen it. I've seen this already. You know, the ring chasing. We've seen the ring chasing before with the LeBrons and da 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 da. So now Gronk is back, and like we're seeing all this shit, and we're seeing so much shit like come back full circle in just different ways and different spirits at different times in society. Is crazy, But yeah,
That's another thing Jordan did. He actually opened up free agency to the NBA.
yeah.
He and Shaq were the guys that really opened up the free agency period.
Shaq didn't give a fuck. He was like, I'm trying to play wherever I can. Phoenix, let's go. Um, that is today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys comment after this show is posted. Let us know what you're thinking. What you thinking? Catch me tonight. If you still want more Rum Boys content, I am going to be on Jimmo, the Icon YouTube channel here in the next hour. I'll be on his channel. We're going to be talking about we're not going to be talking about sports whatsoever. We're going to be chopping up about top, I think it's top 10 or top 12 favorite TV shows of all time. So just TV shows, period. I'm going to get my list together here in the next hour 20. That's just going to be bananas. I'm bringing the Jamie Foxx show, the Chappelle show, the Boondocks is probably gonna hold it. I ain't gonna, I got a lot of fucking shows that I've watched. I'm gonna put down the pipeline. Um, so yeah, I mean, messaging you guys recommendations. Help me out. I got an hour and 20 minutes. Message me what you guys like. Or what you grew up on. That'd be mad fire. Jake, I appreciate you for joining me for the show. Let people know where they can find you, dog.
Well, when the UFC starts up, I'll be Rum Boys Combat. By the way, might be an article if there is a card. Not likely. Everyone's dropping out. All the title fights are falling through. Amanda Nunez decided not to fight, so this card on May 9th is looking a little bit skeptical at the moment. So might be a little bit longer. I'm once May 1st hits and something's lifted in Florida, I might have an article. If not, May 1st is going to be that date we have to wait on because if nothing happens then, there's no way there's a card in 8 days, fortunately. So UFC is trying to be the first to open up. I might be back in business until then. Yeah, not. It's gonna be tough. I'm
Bro,
glad this documentary's out. I'd like a few more to come out because it looks like sports won't be around for a while besides NFL draft coverage. So enjoy these next 2 days.
as long as you drop something, we will keep supporting Jay. You know, you drop something, I got the Venmo and shit. You know, I
We'll
got.
find out May 1st what happens.
It's like fuck it, like gotta bring it on.
May 1st. I have hope. I have hope there'll be some fight scheduled
Yeah.
for May 9th. That's all I could say.
Fuck yeah, I love it. I love it. Make sure you guys follow me at Rum Boys for O to Z, NET, Instagram, Twitter. Really quick, for everyone that received a fucking Instagram message from me like last night, God knows whenever, we were hacked. We were hacked. We did get it solved. I solved that problem this morning. Whoever the fuck hacked me, your mom's a hoe. You can go suck a dick and die. I hate you for that because you fucking with my money. But it's all good. Luckily, you didn't impact shit because you're a weak, soft little bitch. And yeah, um, I want to thank every single Rum Boys affiliate. Make sure you guys check us out on rumboys.com. J Love and Connor Burt just dropped a mock draft article. Make sure you guys check that out. I'm gonna holler at J Love, see if we can get him on air to do some pre-draft hype tomorrow. Thursday night we are live as a network, as a team for the draft. If you would like in, and if you are a podcast that's 21 and up, and you would like in, aside from J Love, then let us know, and we will get you in. We'll get you on air. This, that, and the third. Yada yada yada. Blase blase. Blue blue. It's the Rum Boys Fantasy fucking Network. I wish I had a fucking shot to take with all y'all, but I drink all of my liquor that's up here, and I have another podcast I gotta drink for. You know what? Fuck that. No, I'm grabbing a shot. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not ending my show like this. 1 second. 2 seconds. Hang on, son. And as all of you guys know how we do, cheers to me.
Cheers to
Cheers
you.
to you. All the Rum Boys and girls.
Boys and girls, what it do? Dilly dilly. See ya. Enjoy my stream, man.